Tennessee, maybe not having quite the kind of class that it's had in recent years, 17th in the nation according to 24/7. Butch Jones was able to reel in 3 consecutive top 5 classes, the other one in that top 15 range, so he's certainly gotten it done on the recruiting trail. And to talk Tennessee sports, Tennessee football in particular, we always go to Mike Laval from Last Word on College Football. Mike, and I'm looking it over, and like we talked about last week, it's a mighty big class in regards to numbers at 28. Trey Smith in the fold, as he has been for quite some time, arguably the best player in the country. So your thoughts as things came to a close today?
Mark, you hit the nail on the head. Tennessee fans are having a hard time getting excited after today's National Signing Day for Tennessee. You mentioned it, they were ranked 17th by the 247 composite, but really with 28 players, when you look at the star average per player, they're really 22nd. So this is really a top 25 class, not really a top 17 class. That'll put Tennessee 7th in the conference, 3rd in the division, and they're only 4 spots ahead of South Carolina. That's not going to make Tennessee fans very happy. This is easily Tennessee's lowest ranked class, at least on National Signing Day, of the last 4 seasons. 14th last year, 4th place finish in 15, and 7th place finish in 2014. Butch Jones called it in his post-National Signing Day presser a balanced class from top to bottom. He said it was his most positive year on the trail, with high school coaches and college and high school principals telling him about how impressed they are with Tennessee's program and Tennessee being back. But this National Signing Day, coupled with the disappointing 2016 regular season, kind of seems that Butch Jones' momentum at Tennessee might be slowing down a little bit. 2 disappointing points for Tennessee fans. 1, the in-state performance of Butch Jones. Only 3 of the top 11 players from Tennessee, 5 of the top 20 are going to Tennessee. You'd like to see, for an in-state school like Tennessee, you'd like to see 4 or 5, maybe 6 of those top 12. And maybe 7, 8 of your top 20. Tennessee high school football is getting better, especially the mid-state. But Tennessee lost out to some top talent, to LSU and Clemson. Both took 2 guys out of Tennessee, to include Amari Rogers and T. Higgins. Big losses right there out of Knoxville. Maryland came in, took a top 10 Tennessee kid. Memphis, Arkansas, and Oregon also took top 10 players right there out of Tennessee. The second thing that Tennessee fans are going to be a little bit disappointed about is they didn't win a lot of the head-to-head battles in the recruitment of these young players. They won the battle with Trey Smith. He's a Tennessee guy, grew up as a Tennessee fan, lives in Tennessee, so that's not terribly surprising. But when they went head-to-head with LSU, Clemson, Florida, Georgia, they didn't win many of those battles. So that's got to be a little disappointing for Tennessee fans. 2 bits of good news coming out of National Signing Day. Jones has had success. Jones and his staff have had success in the past finding good talent in the 3-star level. So there's definitely potential in this class. While Tennessee fans might be a little disappointed, there is potential for this class to contribute on the field as we move forward. And then Butch Jones pulled in recruits out of 10 states. He pulled as many recruits out of Florida as he did Tennessee. Also had success in Louisiana, Georgia, North Carolina, Virginia. So he was able to get out and pull kids in from some really good recruiting hotbeds.
Mike, I don't want to say that the window's closing on Tennessee, because that would be a ridiculous overstatement. But in regards to the way the dynamics worked in the division in terms of coaches coming and leaving and programs going up and down, of course, Florida was coming off a pretty substantial high before Will Muschamp hit town. South Carolina was very strong with 11 consecutive 11-game winning seasons under Steve Spurrier. So South Carolina coming down off of that. Florida in a slump. Georgia took a bit of a break between Mark Richt and Kirby Smart, at least maybe for 1 year, in only going 7-5. But now, bam, Kirby Smart shows that he is going to be a serious factor on the recruiting trail. Jim McElwain closed strong today. South Carolina, even under Will Muschamp, had a nice class. Maybe some thoughts that it was almost the clearly the best program, or the program on the rise there for a couple of years, and now it's getting crowded at the top.
Yeah, Mark, that's what I was talking about with Jones's momentum at Tennessee slowing down. If you look, Tennessee has been kind of the favorite with all the momentum the last 2 years. The hype train has been stopping at the Knoxville station in the offseason. If you look at Georgia today with a top 3 class, Kirby Smart, kind of implementing the system there at Georgia that he brought over from his time with Nick Saban at Alabama. It looks like Georgia's probably going to be getting that hype train this offseason and riding that into all the preseason polls. But I still think think the SEC East is wide open. Georgia had some struggles last year. They're bringing in some great talent and got some good returning players coming in and a good young quarterback. But they still haven't proven it on the field. Florida is kind of struggling a little bit. McElwain closed well today. But still, I think if you look at the star rating, I still think that's more of a top 20, top 25 class. South Carolina had a very decent recruiting class, but we still have to see if they can put it together on the field. I still think the SEC East is wide open. Tennessee certainly has a chance. They lost a lot of their star players this year, but they have a large number of starters coming back. It's just that all the starters who are coming back were not the stars this year. So I do think the Jones momentum is slowing down in Knoxville, but it's not the window has not closed.
Mike Laval joining us from Last Word on College Football, talking some Tennessee. Mike, we appreciate the time.
Always a pleasure, Mark.